Hello, good evening, and good welcome to Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern episode 123rd. I'm Jamie, and this week I'm joined by MPV Graham. Hello, MPV Graham, come on in. How are you?
Good hello to you. I am fine.
Good hello to you. It's nice to see you again on this lovely Sunday at night at 8 p.m.
Ish.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
I thought I'd get
after a
quick one
week
in
off.
there early. We've also got Millie Man Ian with us this week.
Hello, how are we?
Hello, Millie Man Ian. How are you?
Oh,
I'm good, thanks. You?
I am spiffing as ever.
I'm disappointed you only gave Graham the ish, but
Don't worry, we'll get another. I was going to give you an
treatment.
ish as well, but now you're not going to get one. You get
fine. Fine by me.
Ian, how are you on this
Cracking them
wonderful
out.
Sunday evening at 8 p.m?
At 11
Oh.
ish. No, fine.
Fucking ruined it. Right, bring him in. Scottish Graph, come on in. Save the day. Show Ian how it's done. How are you at 8 p.m?
Ish.
Thank you very much. Is everybody well? You keeping well? You've had a nice weekend.
Yeah,
Very nice, yes.
weather's been
Gosh,
all
you're
right.
looking pretty dark there.
I am looking very dark there. I'm trying to work out why I'm looking so dark.
Nice. Well, thank you very much again for joining us on Sunday night 8 p.m. as we do every
Ish.
week on YouTube.com/Xbox Tavern Official, on podcast services, wherever you may find us. This week we're going to talk about video games we played. Probably have a bit of wrestling talk because there was the Money in the Bank last night, and
Money.
something about Activision Blizzard once again. I will keep it short and brief because it's not quite done just yet. But we'll get to that later on. For now, let's begin, as we like to do, with what we've been playing. And I haven't even looked at the list, to be honest, so I'm going to go to Graham first. Graham,
Yes.
tell me about one of the games you've been playing this week, please.
I'll tell you one that I've been recently sort of playing and finishing off, and that was the One Piece Warriors 4 version 1. It was one of the games I reviewed a while back, and I've been trying to go back to sort of games in the past and just get them over the line and complete them off.
Yeah.
And
Take them off the list.
yeah, so this one I did out of spite for Wolong, because Wolong pissed me off. It was using the same, supposed to be sort of Dynasty Warriors style sort of gameplay, whereas this one is true sort of Dynasty Warriors kind of gameplay, where you sort of 1v1000 kind of scenarios where you're just pulling out moves left, right, and center to sort of bash the enemies, and it's just lots of fun fighting, hack and slash fun with lots of enemies, and yeah, and you get a bit more of the storyline of One Piece as well, which is pretty cool because One Piece is quite an interesting story. And
Does it go through the whole of it, or
questionable.
just like one season
What?
or 2 seasons or whatever?
what's wrong with that? What's the question?
One Piece is probably on the week me, but
Oh, here comes the controversy.
There's even a clip you can cut of even Samuel Jackson saying One Piece is one of the best pieces of storytelling he's ever seen. That's
for me,
I don't have a single fight in this. A fight, I guess, because I have never seen a single second of One Piece.
Yeah, I know. Well, animes each to their own. There's loads of different versions of it. Some of you just resonate with more than others, and I quite like a lot of them. And yeah, this one I thought was pretty cool as well. And yeah, they've tied it in with the Samurai or Dynasty Warrior style gameplay. So I was all over this one.
Yeah, just hundreds and hundreds of enemies. So you say you're trying to finish it. Have you finished it? Or
I
you
have
not
finished
quite there
it.
yet?
I didn't realize I was that close to the end. There's like 6 different story arcs in there, and each story arc has about 6 or 7 different mission things in there. Each take about sort of 20-30 minutes to complete, and so I didn't realize it was in the second to last arc, and I had 2 missions on that one and then the last 6, and I rinsed through that today. So yeah, I finished that one off, and yeah, so that's one down. There is a little side section to it which I might finish off just for completion's sake, not because there's achievements, just because there's unlockable characters and stuff to do.
Oh, he's slipping down that slippery slope, Graham. Ian, he's coming after you. He's coming for that million.
I said not because of achievements. I can do it.
Yeah, that's how it starts, Craig. That's how it
I'm
starts.
nearly on 1.5 million. He's got
No, well, the only thing
catch up.
close to achievements that I was interested in was the bloody rewards thing, and since the new dashboard update, they completely fucked me on it.
I've been suspended from the rewards thing.
So is Jay.
Yeah. I was saying to these before we start, we don't need to get into it right now, but yeah, I think there's some major problem with the rewards because yeah, quite a few people seem to have been randomly suspended without warning or without reason. It just
Also,
says,
have they not
"Oh, your
changed
account's
it
suspended?"
so that the monthly is only 1,000 now instead of 2,000?
Yes,
Yeah,
that was the last time. I got on there for the first day of July, and I was like, "Oh, that's good." Oh, they changed it to 1,000, and then when the next day, you're suspended. What? I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They must have heard you complain about it.
Oh, yeah,
I
probably,
was going to suspend them back for fucking me with that knee there.
But yeah, so One Piece, good, still good, well worth a play. If
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
yeah. If you're into sort of the Dynasty, sort of Samurai Warriors type of gameplay, and you like a bit of Japanese anime, it's definitely a win-win. They've done it exactly the same kind of style, and there's loads of different special moves and growth maps that you can play around with to sort of keep it fresh. And yeah, loved that
Very
one.
nice.
It's good.
Very
Very
nice. Very nice.
nice.
Good. Right, I'm going to swing around to Ian now then. And Ian, you've got a few things on your list here. But I suppose, I mean, you spoke about Dead Cells last week. Anything new to report? Or do you want to tell us about Match Point Tennis?
Ooh.
Nobody ever
Match
wants to
point
say
tennis is
anything
just-
about match point tennis.
Exactly. It's just
I
I thought I'd get a
specifically
bit
called
hype
that one out because I know it would
Wimbledon's
upset
coming
Ross.
Well, it upset me as well. I thought, well, it's all right. The gameplay's all right, but the crowd are dreadful. That's one of my bugbears of it. And there's no fanfare. So you win a trophy. It's like, oh, you won a trophy, done. There's no like you lifting the trophy or anything. It's
A
just
winner is you.
wins you, and that's it. You won. So it's just, and it's just I didn't really enjoy my time playing it. Also, I had to play it for achievements and stuff. I wanted to get a hype
Naturally,
up for Wimbledon. Like Wimbledon's coming around. Let's play a bit of tennis. Get involved. But my God, it's not a very good game at all. Like, it's just so boring. Is the best way to put it.
I think that was your complaint when it Ross. It just
I didn't
was a
rate
bit-
it particularly highly. No, I'm thinking back to the days of like Smash Got Tennis, Virtua Tennis,
Virtua
and things
Tennis.
like that. I'm thinking of the good old days, Top Spin, and then this came out. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
and then it was like,
Yeah, because it's leaving Game Pass. It wasn't that weird timing as well. Leaves Game Pass when Wimbledon's next week. I was like,
yeah,
a bit
utterly
weird
bizarre.
timing. Yeah, I was like, surely you want to hype up your game by keeping it. in
Well,
Game
maybe
Pass.
that is the tactic. So it leaves just before you get it. So if you get a taste of it, and then you want to buy it as it comes out. To
Oh,
sort of,
fuck no, we're not buying that game.
But then run it for the first week of Wimbledon, and then when it gets to the second week, when everything's all exciting and you're getting the proper Wimbledon vibes, then take it out so folk go, no, fuck, I
True.
won't buy it. But
That's
it's
it, yeah.
so you won't buy
Do
it.
it. Move it like say mid-July, so that makes sense. Next batch of movies,
Yeah.
that's fine. But God, it's just dreadful. It's just boring.
It's poor.
Boring. Not as. It's just. It doesn't really. It has some plays like in the world, like real people it has, but then they also have like Tim Henman playing in the like. Wasn't Tim Henman playing Nick Kyrgios is playing each other? Like, what the fuck is that about? That'll never happen.
Pretty sure he's retired quite a while ago.
Hello, so bulking at a real player, then go Tim Henman like he's never been a real player.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a questionable Brit play.
I mean, I'm going to show my obvious ignorance here. I'm assuming he doesn't still play tennis, surely.
No,
No, he played.
He
When did
barely
he
played
stop
tennis
playing?
even during his age.
Good. Yeah, exactly. I was saying. Questionably
Getting a
good.
hill named after him was his biggest achievement.
and even that's been changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. All right. So Match Point Tennis not very good.
No,
but
it's,
did you get the
but
full
it-
1000G?
of
That's the
course.
important question.
Standard with me.
Naturally, and
Plus
you
for
just
punishment.
mentioned it offhand. Nearly at 1.5 million. When did you pass a million? Was it last year somewhere? Wasn't it?
2-3 years ago. 2
Nah,
years
it
ago.
can't have been that long ago.
It
Surely.
wasn't that long ago.
No, surely not.
No
I
way.
think it
that long
was.
ago.
It wasn't last year. It was the year before.
Really? Oh wow.
Mm.
Anyway, so the whole point of them passing a million was I don't chase achievements anymore, and
Yeah.
somehow you still got twice as much as I have on top of that in like 2
It's
years.
just natural gaming with me.
Natural game in my ass. There's
You
no
know
way.
what's even like more shambolic about it is I don't even think in fact I know I haven't even hit 100,000. That's how
You're well,
But that's
shockingly
natural
my
gaming.
mind
That
is.
is. You're playing. Ian's naturally gaming by playing games he doesn't
Yeah.
like to get the 1000G.
Exactly.
He's this caliber of games he's playing will make Dan wins.
I'm absolutely going to sleep this
Oh.
tennis game. It's so bad, it's shit. I can't recommend it to anybody, but I did fully complete
I know. That's the kind of punishment I am.
it.
Gotta get this piece of shit done.
All right. While you find out the date when you pass your million, then I'm going to move around
Yeah.
to Ross.
My
Ross,
birthday,
tell me all about.
2021.
I'm a quick week
Was
this
it really
week, so
2002?
I've
Oh,
been.
right, so, yeah, so just under 2 years ago. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Carry on, Ross. So yeah, let's go with. Oh God. Why
Yeah,
did I
exactly. You're not
Take
going
a
to
pick.
get
Take a pick.
it. I'll start on this one because I know I can set Ian
no,
off into a rant in regards to possibly the what. Is it the worst in the genre, Ian? You'll be more willing to throw it under the bus than I will be, but fully completed Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, I think I've got.
Yeah.
So done the full Pokedex for that. Now in the end game of, it's got a massive end game. I'll give it that. There's loads to do once you actually complete the main storyline.
I was impressed you actually managed to get that far because I got annoyed. And I love Pokemon, but I got very annoyed with it quickly.
I think I think it is. I think it was literally I want to get to the end game part because it's so easy to get the legendaries at the end of it. So because it's got I can't remember what it's called. It's got an area basically where if you take a certain slab to a certain cave, it spawns a certain legendary.
Yeah.
So you can guarantee yourself like a Rayquaza, Mewtwo, whatever it may be. Plus, it was the opportunity if you brought a save from Arceus into this game, or this or the Let's Go games, you got Darkrai and what's the other mythical?
Jirachi, isn't it? And Mew you got as well.
Jirachi. Yeah, you can basically get all the mythical ones that you might not have been able to get if you hadn't played the other games. So managed to get all of them as well. A few things about it I quite like. The Grand Underground was not too bad. That was quite a good wee bit of fun in there, trying to sort of get the more rare Pokemon that you maybe not experience in the wild. I think it made it easier for me doing the Pokedex because I had the ability to pull Pokemon in from Pokemon Home. I think if this had been done at the first time, I'd have been like, nah, fuck this. I'm not trying to collect.
Oh,
every single
you
one.
cheater.
Yeah, boy.
That's cheating. Get out. No, you can't even.
So I've completed the Sinnoh Dex and now in the process of working on the National Dex as well. So that'll be my go-to just every day sitting on the couch gaming and when I don't really have time to try and squeeze in a proper gaming session.
I just have no words for you now. I'm just disappointed. Cheated. Jeez, the Pokedex.
Is that not the whole point of Pokemon Home?
Yes, it is, but not to cheat the Pokedex.
I disagree.
No, fine.
So-
But yeah, I thought this one was one of the weaker of the franchises. I think if they ever did this kind of, I guess we call them chibi characters.
Yeah, and I knew
They need to get rid of that. But,
Yeah, I knew you'd say you weren't a massive big fan of it. I wasn't a big fan of Team Galactic either. It was probably one of the weakest sort of end boss teams to have to deal with.
Oh, what do they want to do again? They want to go to space, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I also didn't find any of the Pokemon in this one. So like the actual generations Pokemon, the two legendaries are not too bad. The starters are very weak. I kind of like Empoleon. I don't mind Infernape, but
I was going to say I was about to say they got the best 3 stars.
You think Turtwig, Torterra?
Torterra was cool, and Empoleon and Infernape. Yeah, I think of the 3 of the generations, I think I like all 3 stars.
Oh, I don't know. Like, I'd give you Chimchar and I'd give you Piplup, but I don't know if I could go as far as
but
to
then
say Turtwig.
You're a nonce who likes Charizard, so
I don't like Charizard.
oh, well, someone does.
Yeah, not me. I'm fucking.
Jay. Fuck you, Jay.
I'm Team
Onyx
Blastoise
all the way,
baby.
baby.
Onyx.
Anyone I know.
You like Jigglypuff.
Fucking Jigglypuff beat me down in Smash Brothers. Yeah,
And
so
Team
I mean,
And
I definitely don't have any questions. Does anyone have any questions about Pokemon before we move on?
I could ask loads, but I won't.
Okay,
Going once, going twice.
fucking sold. Right, let's move on then. Thank you very much, Ross. So I'm assuming you've done some sort of Pokemon hunting and finished it. I was listening, obviously.
Yes.
And you've succeeded, and you've poked them mons all over the place.
Yes, indeed, I did.
Nice, well done. Good job, sir. Good job. Right, I'm going to jump in then quickly and talk about a new wrestling video game. We like a bit of wrestling here on the old Xbox Talent
We
Talent
do, if
podcast.
it's not, but not those scum.
And
Ooh.
if you're a proper wrestling fan, you like a bit of AEW, like myself. I'm joking. Everybody loves what they love. But anyway, AEW Fight Forever is finally out, and it is sort of a throwback to the N64 style wrestling games like No Mercy, WrestleMania, and the WCW ones with old Kimchi Yes Graham and the old ding with the nut punch and stuff.
Yeah.
And on the one hand, that's really good because those old games are like really well revered for they're simple controls, but there's a lot of depth to it. So you can, from 3 buttons, there's about like 40 odd moves you can do just by either holding it down or using different directions, stuff like that.
Why
as
did
well
I
as
just see MJF hitting a baseball that was a character?
We'll get into them very shortly.
What the fuck?
And yeah, so the actual wrestling arcade, wrestling action, I should say, is pretty good. Like it's a little bit clunky than what you'd expect from the recent WWE games, but it's not without its charm to like how it's put together. But then on the other end of things, because this is obviously a first attempt, this also seems to throw back to the N64 in terms of like its limitations. Like there's only a handful of different modes you can play. There's 1 to 4 versus matches, and then there's ladder match, casino battle royal match, and the exploded barbed wire death match, which is always fun.
What's a casino battle?
So casino battle royal in real AEW, in the real life, everybody sort of gets drawn a card and they just come in. It's almost like a Royal Rumble basically, and last man standing wins basically. But in this, it's the same thing, but you can only have 4 people in the ring at once because of the limitations. So as opposed to having like a massive brawl with loads of people, you just got 4 people. And I played one yesterday, and I drew whatever it was, the card I drew. And I literally had to sit there for like 15 minutes and watch AI fight until one of them threw some people out so I could actually come in and start wrestling, which was a bit less than ideal. And as soon as I got thrown out, then I could just skip to the end, which is handy. So in terms of like the modes, there's not very much in terms of that. There's the Road to the Elite, which is like the career mode, which only takes a couple of hours to get through, but it's sort of designed to play more than once, because you can take one of the regular wrestlers through, or you can take your custom character through, and that's how you get their upgrades. So you unlock extra finisher slots or costumes or music moves, stuff like that. And each time you start on wherever it's called, like block A, for example, and then depending on what happens in your match and some very, very limited, like not dialogue choices, like will you kick this person or will you tag team with them, you will then go on to block 2A or 2B or 2C or stuff like that. And again, depending on who you've got and who you haven't got, or who you're playing as, you'll get different choices as well. I've only played for it once with my custom character, because I am all elite, obviously, and it was fun. But
did you make yourself or Ninja?
I made Enoch-san, but I tried to like fudge the name because the announcer's got loads of names he can call out, like come into the ring, Adam Cole type thing, and there obviously isn't an Enoch-san. So I picked Eric and Sane because the way he said it kind of sounded like it. And I expected him to go, come into the ring, Eric Sane. And it might have been like, oh, that sounds like Enoch-san. And what I actually said was, come into the ring, Eric Sane. I was like, oh, God damn it. That did not work at all. So I ended up changing it back to, I think I just changed it to Jamie or something. But yeah, the career mode's fun. It dragged on a bit in terms of the in-between stuff, because there's obviously the matches you fight at the end of each block. But before that, you can either go training, or we can go sightseeing, or we can go to a restaurant to sort of rebuild your stamina up for the next match. And there's a lot of dad joke level writing in it, where they'll go to restaurants and there'll be funny puns on the town you're in and whatever the food is. Oh, I can't remember any of them off the top of my head, but they're not like the cleverest things in the world. And then you'll meet wrestlers, and sometimes they'll make silly jokes, and sometimes they'll reference old like their past career. So Christian Cage, for example, was in it. And I met him in New York, and he was like, oh, I want to snap a photo of you. If you've got 5 seconds, do you remember the 5-second pose with him and Edge doing the, and they did like the actual pose itself, and that made me laugh. And then, on the other hand, you just get some cheesy dad jokes. So it wasn't overall. It didn't really hit the highs I'd hoped for. but it was still enjoyable enough while I was playing. I'll definitely keep playing it. Like they got some new wrestlers to come in to add in for DLC, like the Acclaimed to come in, which is one of my favorite tag teams in AEW. But it's just it feels like a base building block for the next game rather than being like a brand new game where it comes out, all bells, all singing, all dancing. It's like, here's the bare minimum. Is that good enough? Okay, good. Now we can take that and build it up for AEW, whatever the next, Fight Forever, and again, whatever it's going to be called. In terms of the wrestling itself, like I said, it's very fun, but there's still some quirks. Like, great. I know we played a lot on the N64.
Yeah.
You remember how it was quite slow,
Yeah.
but also
And
like you could also hit, like it was a bit more, a bit stiff, but there was sort of physics based. So if I'm swinging at you, for example, but someone's there, I might accidentally knock them out at the same time as I punch you, and so everybody's sort of interacting, which is pretty cool at times. But and other times, I'll put in my review. One of the examples was I was pinning someone in a tag team match. My partner Darby Allin jumped in to try and stop the other guy from breaking up the pin. But because we were in the middle, he just ran and got stuck on one side of me. The other guy was on the other side. And Darby Allin's just swinging and just can't hit him because we're literally blocking his path rather than running around and getting to him. And that happened many, many times in that match. In the end, I ended up kicking the other guy off the apron and just like praying, like, oh, please let the pin finish. I just want to end this match. It's going on for far too long. So yes, there's little quirks and little kinks like that need to be worked out. But overall, I enjoyed it. Like I said, my review's up now. It's nowhere near as if you're going in expecting WWE style top tier wrestling, especially the last couple of games, then you'd be sorely wanting. But if you go in expecting a bit of a pared down but still fun wrestling game, thumbs up all round. And plus you can play as Jeff Hardy, and who doesn't want to play as Jeff Hardy?
Me.
Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy.
You can't play as Matt Hardy. You can only play as him if you pre-ordered the game, and I didn't pre-order the game because we got sent a code for it, so I didn't get Matt Hardy.
Oh,
never mind. Like I said, I'll pick up some DLC when it comes out and play as the Acclaimed, and everything will be all right.
Yep.
Nice. So recommended if you're prepared to live with its quirks. Right. Let's go back to Graham now.
I wonder how he got the special character anyway, considering we've got like Sting as like the legend, but no, pre-order and get Matt Hardy. Like,
it was very weird because Matt Hardy's been in there. Matt Hardy's been in AEW in real life for years and years. Jeff Hardy only come in last year, and already he's in the game, and Matt Hardy's a special pre-order. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But let's move on from that, shall we? Good game, but just not quite there yet. Hopefully, the next one will hit the nail on the head. Graham.
Yes.
Tell me, let's go. Should we talk about Escape Academy?
Go on, let's do it.
Let's do it. So I want to hear your thoughts and opinions first. Tell you guys obviously played Escape Academy, Ian?
yes, I have. Yeah.
Ross
has. We know Ross has.
Don't traumatize me.
You know, it's about.
I know Ross has. I couldn't remember if Ian got round to it.
I mean, everyone knows what it's about. It's sort of an animated escape room kind of style scenario, and basically they're given their 2 sets of DLC for this, and they have picked up where they left off. I mean, the puzzles on them are high quality. They're not just a cakewalk. They're, if anything, trickier than what some of the main game ones were. And I think we had to use an extra time on about 3 or 4 of them out of the sort of 10 that were on show. So that shows how difficult they were. I mean, I think we only used like 2 or 3 times throughout the whole of the main game. So these ones were definitely trickier. But
there was more than once that we had to extend the time as well, wasn't it? Because we ran out, just before we finished solving the last puzzle or something.
Yeah, I mean, the actual main storyline is just as bizarre, and not too much focus can be put too much on the story. I don't think. I think you skipped everything anyway.
I was going to say, I think most of us I sort of like press the A, like red. Okay, I've got the just skip.
Also known as doing an Ian.
Hey. Tony Diablo.
But I mean, aside from the story, which is a bit meh, the gameplay is exactly the same. The quizzes or the actual escape room pieces are much harder. Finding bits. I mean, I think there was a couple of occasions where we just missed one key bit of information, and all that takes is the stat that screws you kind of over. And that happened in like 3 or 4 of them. There was just. You just literally have to scout everything, picking everything up, because that one little bit that you can pick up is literally something that can get you to the next kind of area. And
Yeah, because wouldn't there one clue? I can't remember exactly what it was now, but there's one clue that we, as soon as it opened up, we were like, oh, for fuck's sake, we walked straight past that about 10 times. It's just like sitting on the side, just completely ignored it.
so those kind of scenarios, but yeah, it's great fun. I mean, if anything's inspired us to sort of challenge an actual escape room, just because these are kind of so much fun to try and do and just really sort of put your head to the test. Some bits are logic, some bits are even trickier than you think. They are involved. Usually in the original main game, you kind of overthought things, and I think in this time, some of the overthinking is actually involved. I think it's that they're taking off the laser, where we had to sort of stop that or shoot the laser at the person who's going to fire the portal, whatever that piece, where we had to disarm the 3 minutes. That definitely had some complicated bits to it.
Yeah, because that was the one where without spoiling too much, there's like different portals, so you go into different puzzle sections, wasn't it? And that was
No,
that was
I'm on about that one. I'm on about the ones where you have to aim the laser to fire at the lady, and every bit you have to unlock a panel at the back. And the stairs, there's like 3 or 4 different areas to the stairs, and they all had complex puzzles in it.
Yeah, and one of the things we found as well was we found each other's strengths and weaknesses very quickly, because I am terrible at like maths ones and stuff like that, and Graham wasn't so good at like the sliding puzzle ones and things like that. And so we both were doing it like, do you want to swap? Yeah, we'll swap. We go and just swap it and solve it like almost instantly. And then because you can still have the split screen, I'd be solving one, Graham be solving one, and we just sort of glance at each other's one. Oh, by the way, that goes that. Well, this is the answer to that. We're like, what? I've just been what? How did you? Okay, just done. Solved.
There was literally about 6 or 7 occasions where we solved each other's puzzle whilst trying to work on our own, because we get so annoyed with our own one.
Must be nice to have played it with somebody who had strengths.
I have to say, I'm not gonna lie, me and Jay did discuss about the fun that you and Dan had playing that game.
Yeah, I don't know if fun would be the word I would sort of opt to use in that one.
Put up with him.
Tolerate.
I did put a link to your YouTube video in my review for everybody to enjoy. But sorry, Greg.
The only way that could be better is if Pete and Dan played it.
Oh God!
I think we need to get special guest Pete.
I think Pete would just show up at his door.
I mean, like you said, Greg, the puzzles were hard, but they were clever at the same time. It wasn't like how the fuck were you supposed to figure it out? I mean, we solved them all again using a few hints, but not too many.
No. And the one hint we did use was infuriating, when all you had to was pretend to fire the gun first to unlock the bit. It's like it wasn't even a puzzle. It was just like you had to go through the actual.
We didn't even try
to make the next bit happen. It was always going to fail, but you had to make it fail before the next bit happened. It was so annoying.
I think. Because what we played was split up into 2 packs. So the first one was it Anti-Escape Island. The second one was Escape from the Past. I was trying to think when I was writing my review, because I wrote the review mainly about Escape to the Past, because that was the one that just come out. But I was trying to think what one I preferred, and I think they were both as good as each other. Really, I don't think either one had a particular sort of advantage over the other pack.
How many levels are there per DLC?
There's 5 stages on each bit.
Oh, nice!
But they're all quite long, aren't they? I think the shortest one was like 35 minutes, 40 minutes.
Some of them had no time limit, so it was as good as you were to try and solve it. I think that was in the island one, where you first get into the island. I think that one, it was like as long as it takes for you to solve it, and it wasn't like painfully long, because we managed to crack some of them. But there was a bit of moments where we're like, we really need to find something. I don't know where we're going with this. They're really well done, really clever sort of setups. And the only thing I was a bit gutted about was there was only 5 each. I could have quite happily played a few more, and I don't think they've got any more DLC planned. But I think hopefully they'll work on a sequel or another version of this, because they're really well done, and they all felt different and. Like the same challenge all the way through. There was not any real point where it got so hard that we were like, fuck this is bullshit. Just nothing felt samey. There was no puzzle I thought, we've done this kind of thing before. Nothing like that would say, they've just rehashed something. They all kind of felt fresh.
I always think with games, if they have a DLC, there's a high chance they might have a second one, because clearly it's doing well if they got DLC coming out.
I mean, it's not a surprise. I mean, these games are like, I think they're like big hitters on the mobile platform with these kind of escape room kind of games.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're interacting, kind of flipping something, trying something, flipping, turning, trying to get to the next point.
Yeah.
So there is definitely a market for these kind of games, and they're translating it to the two-player playing it simultaneously. I think that just proper like amplifies the gameplay and makes it so much more fun.
Yeah, I don't know how much I would have enjoyed it if I just played
Played
on
it
my own.
solo.
You can play solo, but
Yeah,
co-op is so much better because, I mean, like we said, like if you get stuck on a particular type of puzzle, like there was a chess puzzle, I fucking hate chess. I cannot do chess whatsoever. And I was looking at it, and I didn't even. I was like, great, I can't do this one. But that was when we were against each other, wasn't it?
yeah.
So I ended up having to just tough it out. And I think it took me twice as long as you did, but
But you won it in the end anyway.
I did win the race. Only just, but I did win the race. But yeah, no, really good set of DLC. Well worth checking out. It's not too expensive. I think it's like $8.99 or something for the pair of them. Something
Oh,
like
it's not
that.
too bad.
It's not too expensive either. And the main game is in Game Pass. So
Not too bad at all.
we played it. So yeah, so
Yeah.
highly recommended. Dan, if you want to get Ross up.
Yeah, Ross is interested.
I understand he's ready to play some more with you.
Go on, let's do it. Do it.
And don't let Dan
Yeah,
play it in advance this time. He's got to go in fresh.
He was
Going
no
fresh,
fucking use even when he had played it in advance.
I know, but he had less arrogance about him because he knew some bits of it.
Fucking worse than a man down.
Yeah, so that's Escape Academy DLC. Thank you very much, Graham. That was good. Oh, I look forward to playing some more things like that again soon.
Yeah.
Sooner rather than later. Ian, do you want to go back to you now?
Yep, go for it. What do you want?
If we have to, we don't have to.
Yes,
Leave you alone.
Well, no. Jokes.
Well, I mean, you're back to Kart Rider again. I assume you're still working on a G race for that as well.
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
I forgot I told you about it, but yeah, I've gone back to playing it again. It's a nice little kart riding title. I mean, like you say, it's a bit of like a discount Mario Kart, but you know, it has its quirks. I think some of the modes they have, which are, I guess we'll call it different to most of the games, but I still think it has its like je ne sais quoi, because it's got a bit of fun. I think when you play online against other people, because it's cross-play, it's just two spectrums. I think you either smash it or you get smashed.
Smash or get smashed.
So yeah, there's no real like you either win it by clean, nice and easy, or you play against AI, which again you'll probably win anyway because AI is terrible. So then when you play against some other people, it's just like they're just beyond better than you, and they just completely destroy you. But again, I'm having a bit of fun with it. Again, they're going for the achievos for it because some of them are a bit long-winded, but you know, it is what it is. Have any of you actually played it yet or not?
I think I had one race of it. I think I was playing mostly AI. Yeah, it seemed okay, but it's just making me miss Street Racer.
Street Racer?
Street Racer.
Yeah,
that was
on the
the
Saturn.
shit.
Mega
was the
Drive
shit.
and the Saturn.
Ah, okay.
No, I think I played the beta of Kart Rider, but I haven't touched it since. I don't know. Not really in for that one at the minute. But have you got the full version yet?
No, not yet. Nowhere near. But I think it's more fun. Like I say, you can do like duos or 4 quads, or you can do single races. So I think it's really fun. Like when you got other people with you, you can like do like say 4v4, 2v2, v2v2. There's only maximum 8 characters in a race, and that makes it a bit more fun. But again, it's just like there's no like tournaments or anything. It's just one and done. So you do one race and that's it.
Yeah.
And then you can do the next race, and it's just like, and you can't really pick and choose maps as well, unless you do custom races. But then you need to invite people along or play against AI, and that's not really that fun. So, AI is very weak in this game. I think as well what they have as well is they have a tool where you can just auto drive for you as well. But if you, for example, you auto drive, and then you as the other, say your friend just drives off, you can the other person can just drive off and win by miles because the AI will focus on how slow you are auto driving, and that's really weird. It's like surely you'll just work out and race as normal, but no, the AI kind of, if you're doing shit, the AI will do shit. But if you're doing really well, the AI will start doing really well. But if there's 2 of you and you're doing shit, and the AI and the other person's doing really well, the AI will focus on who's doing shit more than who's doing well.
Fair enough. So you're going to carry on playing it, get some more Chivos in it.
I'll tough it out. I made more fun than Dead Cells though, but Dead Cells is absolutely brilliant. Probably one of the best roguelikes I've played, and I loved Hades. So I think with Dead Cells, it's
like as much as Dan, like, as much as Ross likes it.
Ross is on mute, and I can't hear Wayne.
Sorry, it's probably because of me shouting or something. I was going to say, what's this Hades game that you keep referring to?
It came out on Game Pass. Was it last year? Was it?
It came out on didn't it have a repeat release like 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022?
But you know, Hades, such a brilliant game. But you know, if only it came out in the right year.
Exactly. That's what fucked it for me.
But you're still enjoying some Dead Cells, or you mentioned that just then. Have you managed to get some more runs going on, or
what in Hades? Or
no, Dead Cells?
I know. So I was joking. Yes, I've completed a full one. So obviously, every time you do, you have to get like a cell. I'm on a 5-cell one. I've completed it fully on a 5-cell one now. So now it's just I've bought the DLC, so I'm now going for all the DLC levels now and seeing what they're about.
Very nice. Happy day.
Obviously, you have to do Winston P. You can't just go for all the DLCs on the off. You have to kind of do a few levels, then go to the DLC area, and then play for the DLC. So yeah.
Report back next week with the DLC chat.
Week after, I won't be here next week. I'll be very.
Oh no! Yeah. No, I don't think any of us will be here. Well, actually, Ross will be here.
Ross will be here. Graham will be here.
Ross and Graham will be here. Sorry, you guys can do a duo cast.
Duo cast.
Yeah.
Should we come on absolutely wasted? That'd be fun.
Well, I'll probably be on the plane at that particular time, so maybe not.
Oh yeah. When do you fly back?
Sunday night.
Oh, okay. Maybe not then.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's behind the scenes nonsense. Right, Ross, tell me about more games. What else you been playing here? Oh, God's sake! Go on.
You had to ask.
Get it out of the system.
It's the end of season review as well, so you'll get all the juicy gossip. So we've had the league wrapped up. Brighton comfortable walk to Champions League final, another Brighton victory. So double Champions League winners recently. Did miss out on the treble, lost in the FA Cup to Bristol City. So the Bristol City manager is claiming a treble. I'll put it out to the masses and see what if you think. Mostly Graham, but still. FA Cup.
I have an opinion.
FA Cup, Carabao
Me
Cup,
too.
Community Shield. Oh, sorry, no, Super Cup. Sorry,
Yeah.
That's a treble, yeah.
we give that as a treble.
If it was Community Shield, no.
No, not with the Community Shield, but with the Super Cup, yeah.
So European Super Cup, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, we'll give him the treble. So he won one more trophy than me, although I would say mine's were considerably.
What did you win then? You won the league
and the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean that's harder to achieve, you would have thought, but
so unbeknownst to us, this has, as we're 4 years into the game, this has now thrown us into the Club World Championship. So we've just finished that. Unbeknownst to us, it happens at the start of July. So everybody is still on holiday. So I think at the start of the tournament, he had 17 players available for him, and I had 15. So
that's weird, surely.
Well, that's what we thought as well. No pre-season. So after 25, 30 minutes in game, everybody's heart is red. They're literally about to die. And you can only make 3 subs. So we had to rinse and reuse the same sort of players. So I got to the semis. He eventually won it. I finished third. So he won.
So he's got a quad then?
Well, no, because it clicks in next season. So this is him winning the first trophy this season. So we can both win 6 trophies, hypothetically, in this season. So he's going for the Club World Championship, the Community Shield, the League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. And I'm going for the same, but minus the Club World Cup, I'll have the European Super Cup that I can go for. So both teams have the potential to walk away with 6 pieces of silverware this season. We do have to play each other in the Community Shield, so that rules one of us out right off the bat. But no, end of the new season. Weird season. Man City finished 7th in the league. Haaland was top goal scorer with 33 goals, but somehow still managed to finish 7th in the league. It was a bizarre, very, very strange season that way. But some big money being splashed around this year. The Bristol City have just signed a combined value once everything's through on add-ons for Trent Alexander-Arnold of 212 million, I think it is. He'll eventually finalise his deal for. I've just signed Jules Koundé, total value of 135 million, and he has also signed Joshua Kimmich for, I don't know how much the Kimmich deal goes up to, but I think it's 120, 125 for him. And I got somebody else, Matthias de Ligt, for 120 million as well. So
how much fucking money do you have?
It's how much we've sold people for as well. So
I bet you cheat, don't you?
No. That was him selling Rafael Leao for 65 million. I'm sure he sold Leao for. He got 80 million for somebody. Pedri. He sold Pedri for about 80 million. I can't remember who else he sold as well.
Yeah, we'll go for more than that now.
I got a board takeover, so a Tycoon came and bought me. So I got 77 million injected into my bank account at the end of the season. So I was quite chuffed with that. But yeah, start of the season, he's got, I think, Man United, City, and Liverpool in the first 5 games. So he has got a proper difficult start to the year. Whereas I've got the teams that have just been promoted.
Who's that?
Fair enough.
No, I genuinely can't remember. It's pish anyway. I know that. I think in the first 5 games I play one. I think I play United, and that's like the best team I play in my first 5 games.
Good.
Anything else you need to know, Jay?
So in terms of your strategy, what? No.
What do you play formation wise?
I play. I sort of vary. I go between a 4-3-3 with 2 wide players, or I play with 3.
I don't think you can call them that, can you?
Wide players, of course, you can. I play with 1 holding midfielder and 3 more attacking midfielders behind 2 strikers. So it just depends who I'm playing. If it's a team I know I can dominate, then I'll tend to go more all out. If it's a team that I need to be a bit more conservative with, I'll go with sort of 3-man midfield with a holding mid.
Good. What, that sounds like a solid choice to me. I think you're probably better off having something a bit more flexible in the mid. But for now,
I do have solid. Two little tidbits that just to annoy Jay. And Jay will actually really appreciate this one. The first one, Jay will.
I'm all ears.
He might even take his beanie off in appreciation.
Oh, I doubt that.
Oh no, you will. Trust me. This is the most Jay story in the world.
Go on, then.
FA Cup final, Bristol City v Brighton. Slogging affair. It's always classics between 2 of us. It's 3-2 to Bristol City. Last minute extra time. Lorenzo Luca, arguably Brighton's talisman, has been for the last few seasons, 30 goals a season striker, gets a delightful thready through ball from Bellingham. He's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, last minute injury time, in extra time, about to level the game, and Scalvini comes in from behind, poof, size him down, not an intention to get the ball. Just as he's about to equalise for the game, straight red card, utter shithousery at its absolute finest.
You know, that's what I like to hear.
I thought Jay would appreciate that story. And
I like that.
Sitting watching it with like head and hands, like, you scummy bastard.
Was there any career-ending injury?
No career-ending injury, unfortunately.
Start again.
Just the sheer fucking on the headset commentating as like he's like, fuck Lorenzo, he's throwing goal. Straight down to him in absolutely hysterics as this psycho of an Italian has just wiped me out from behind. Scummy bastard.
What was his name, sorry?
Giorgio Scalvini.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to remember that, but that is now my new favourite player.
Giorgio Scalvini. He plays in Italy. Typical fucking guy.
Well, nice.
He's on my absolute shit list.
He
I'm
sounds
not sure
a
that's
I
your
like
MO.
me.
Jake. It's not really your MO. He did it with a purpose. Yours is never with a purpose.
Well,
other
this is
than
very
who
true.
gets sent off.
This is very true. He just fucking
You're
absolutely.
just bitter you lost.
I am. Well, in fairness, I had a free kick that deflected off the wall, and he basically took the ball from the free kick, went down and scored and made it 4-2. So it wouldn't have made any difference in the grand scheme of things, but it was the sheer shithousery of it that just pissed me off.
Now I approved the tactics, so I think we need more of that, please. Let's
Absolutely.
keep the red cards coming.
Raging.
Nice.
Raging.
Get the
all right,
world's
well-
smallest violin for you.
I mean, we talked about my Xbox stuff. I don't really want to go too off stream with Nintendo stuff, but I've been
Cool,
playing
let's
a lot of
wrap up.
Zelda and a lot of Pikmin lately, and oh my god, those games are amazing. But I'll save that for either After Dark or indeed another time because
After dark.
Yeah.
Oh no, I felt a bit
After the
sick.
podcast with someone else.
yeah, I'll just sit and talk to myself.
Talk to yourself.
man,
Yeah,
these
exactly.
games are so great. I love it. It's amazing. The Pikmin 4 demos, that was awesome. Definitely go play it. I think I'm probably going to play it again before the game comes out in like 2 weeks and then play the game, which is wonderful. Anyway, does anyone else got anything they want to desperately talk about? Graham, do you want to talk about Fallout 76 quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I'll cover it briefly. It was one of those ones. I mean, it with the talk of Starfield and like Bethesda coming back into it, it just made me miss the Fallout games, and so I thought I never really did sort of give Fallout sort of 76 a fair shake after it got all patched and fixed. I know we had a quick dabble of a multiplayer with it with everyone, but
Project Game
I
Pass,
wanted to.
which we'll get into.
Yeah, so I wanted to give it another kind of shake. I was hoping that there was kind of no issues left. And the weird thing was it kind of picked up where we left it with us guys trying to do that. The mission in that place with the lab where you have to find the DNA and put it through I think to get rid of a certain disease or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was worried at first because it went a bit Redfall on me. I was running through that kind of building, and there was this sort of scorched just hovering around, and I ran up to one, and it just didn't attack me. I kind of felt bad for shooting it, but it came up as an enemy. But they just weren't attacking me, and I thought, oh, the game's still broken. But literally, as soon as I finished that mission and left that place, nothing else happened like that. All the other enemies were very much on target, including some super mutants who were trying to whip me. So, so I just tried to start picking it up back up and moving the game along. And as far as sort of playing the missions and going through that bit and discovering things and keeping on top of your food and water, etc., that bit's all seems fine to me now. The only thing I couldn't really get behind was still the building a camp, because I stumbled across someone's camp and just wow, it was just a massive. It was almost like its own like section on a map. The size of it was massive, and they had vending machines. They had trades bots. It was just like, wow, this guy's spent a long time getting this whole rig up and running, whereas I've got
Welcome
a
to my StarCraft.
Yeah, I've got a tiny little campsite which hasn't even got a tool station on it. Like I can't even build anything on my one without sort of harvesting a load of materials.
I think mine and Ian's house that's got one wall and one floor is still sitting out there somewhere.
Yeah, in the middle of a road, like literally in the middle of a path.
So that's kind of what it was. Sort of, my camp's barely anything, but I don't really need a camp. So, I mean, you can find sort of tinkerers' workbenches and all the other workbenches nearby. I've even found like 3 sets of power armor floating around near and there, but you kind of need a fuel source to keep it going. So it's good for about 10-15 minutes, and then it runs out of fuel, and you have to fill it up. But I was kind of enjoying it. The missions and that bits were kind of fun. I've still got a kind of a super pistol thing that's still sort of saving the day now. I went from like level 8 or something to level 16, 17. So I've been giving it a fair old go, and for the most part, it's fun. I mean, I still kind of enjoy the Fallout games, and it still feels like a Fallout game. It's just they've added people in it, so it feels a bit more lifelike, a bit more realistic. But I mean, that was its issue before. There was like no NPCs. It was all Android and robot based, and it just felt a bit lifeless. So there's a smidgen more people in there, and it feels a bit more sort of lifelike and a bit more active. But just obviously you have to commit a whole lot of time to do it. and I just wanted to see what it was kind of like. So I might come back and play it in bits here and there, but it's nice to see that it's come a long way from when it started off. Anyway.
Yeah. Have you been back at all, Ross? Because you were sort of one of the bigger proponents of us playing it.
Not in a while. I think I'm upset with Bethesda that they just won't give me Fallout 5 or Fallout New Vegas 2
New Vegas,
from like ZeniMax. Just anybody just
I
wants
did
to give
enjoy
me
that you played that trailer again. Where everybody was New Vegas, no Atlantic City.
Yeah,
I
bastard.
know, fucking way.
Still traumatized from that. No, don't get me wrong. Like I was critical of it when it first launched in the shitty state that it did, but I got back on it a lot faster than like a lot of other people that I know that was sort of excited about it. I get that it's a bit empty, but if you're playing it with a mate, it's still good fun because it is co-op in the Fallout world. It's got a lot more of the survival aspects to it, so that's a bit trickier. But yeah, I'll give it its due. They've never gave up on it. They keep going back and adding in the new stories. This one, obviously, the Atlantic City one. I know they've done like the Brotherhood. They've done quite a few of the. What was the other ones that they've done? I know they've added a lot of
Pit.
the Pit. I know they've done story type ideas to make it more Fallout like instead of just having the daily events and the weeklies and stuff like that. So they're at least trying to appeal to the hardcore Fallout audience as well and try and get them back into the game.
Fair enough. And maybe one day we can hop back in as a group. But I mean, it sounds more up your two's alley than me or Ian.
You should play with Ross. He loves it. Not this one, the other Ross from Tavern. He always plays it.
Yeah, get in there, get him involved. Because how big is a crew you can have? Is it 4 players?
I think it's 4. I think you can. There is more you can have.
You can have as many as you want, but I think, like you say, you can be in the same world together. But yeah, as in the as in,
I think I saw some sort of limits. I think there's about 20 in like a server or a world or whatever.
Yeah, and I felt like world events and stuff, it's really good because obviously.
But you can have like private servers or private worlds. I don't know.
Yeah, if you play it for it's like Fallout Prime or whatever, it's Fallout something, Fallout 1 or Fallout something that you have to pay for.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, good. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Grayman, and hopefully you carry on enjoying it and enjoying the wastelands of where is it? West Virginia, isn't it?
Appalachia.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
Anyway, has anybody else got any other games they want to talk about desperately before we move on? Because we've been going quite long now. We've managed to stretch that out quite nicely, gentlemen.
I do want to just moan that there's so many fucking title updates for video games. That's about it.
Damn you, keeping the game up to date. Fuck you guys.
Damn you.
It's not even fucking up to date. It's like,
here we go.
Here for like one game will have like say 50 levels and you get achievements for the first 10 and then they'll do a title update to play from level 11 to 15. So, well, not just fucking do achievements for the first 50.
Yeah.
Well, not even cheesing. They're cheesing it by fucking saying, oh, here's it. Get achievements for the first 10 levels and then we'll give you a title update for the next 5 levels and then in a couple of months' time we'll give you another 5. No, fucking give me all of them now.
I need that score, god damn it.
I don't mind the score, it's good, but it's just fucking annoying for the competition I'm in.
Mortal Kombat cheesed me like that as well. I installed it 11 on there. I tried to play the story it's like story's not ready yet. So what do you mean it's not ready yet? For fuck's sake! It's like, is something gone wrong with this game? Checked it. It's like, no, you have to download it separately. It's like, what the fuck is this? I had to manage the game and install story mode. It's like, why would I not want to play part of the game? It's like, yeah, we might install it. We'll just install the basic game, but you have to install the story separately.
I bet it's that with Gears as well. Fucking stupid game. That's what happened with Formula 1 as well. I couldn't play when Formula 1 came to Game Pass a couple months ago. I was like, oh, I'll play it, give it a go. So I installed it on my Series S. Wouldn't let me play it because wouldn't let my save because one of the DLCs I had was for the pre-order, which only Pete owns, and I can't access that because it's on my home console. So I could never play it on the other consoles. So for fuck's sake.
They've sussed it. They figured it out. They're like, fuck you guys.
It's like, oh no, you can't play this because your pre-order DLC's not downloaded. So for fuck's sake. I can't even download it on my console.
Bastards. But I want to go back to what Graham just said a second ago. I forgot I played the Mortal Kombat 1 stress test the other week, and we obviously didn't record last week. Did anyone else check out? Graham, did you play it?
Yeah, I told you I had a quick brief go before we played Escape Academy.
Oh yeah. Did either you two play it, Ian or Ross?
Nope.
I mean, it's
Looks
more
alright.
Mortal Kombat. It's violent as fuck. I am dreadful at it, and it was. I mean, it worked well enough considering it's supposed to be a stress test for the servers and stuff. There was only 4 characters and I think 3 levels to choose from, and 3 like support. What they call them, cameo fighters. But yeah, it was enjoyable enough. They had a very brief tower mode for single player, or you could play online against people. My first match I won. And then I paused it to try and figure out the finishing move. Obviously, it's an online game, so you can't pause it. I panicked, I pressed some buttons, and I quit the game, and it counts as a loss. And then after that, I just got decimated every single time. I had no chance. So I almost had 1 win. And then, I didn't do very well after that at all. I got paired up with one guy who had, I think it was 78 wins and 76 losses. And considering the stress test was only on for like 3 days, that's a lot of playing Mortal Kombat.
That's fucking hell.
And surprise, surprise, he absolutely wiped the floor with me. I don't even think I touched him in one of the rounds. But it was enjoyable enough.
Who could you be? Everyone, or
you could be a Sub-Zero, Liu Kang. I forget the other 2 now. There was 2 other characters. Oh, Katana and I forget the last one.
Kano?
But, it was no, he was one of the support ones. But yeah, I mean, it was good. I enjoyed playing it. It's just like I said, obviously I need the full game to get the tutorials in and learn the characters' moves and stuff, rather than just going into online and getting absolutely whipped and destroyed. One guy had a combo that he just kept doing over and over again, which took about a third of my health off every time. I couldn't defend against it, couldn't attack in between. So hopefully they'll sort of balance things out. Obviously, again, I'm not very good at it, so maybe it was just me, but maybe they'll patch it out and fix it a little bit. But anyway, That's enough of that. We'll move on now because we've been going for nearly an hour just on what we've been playing. We've got to talk about Project Game Pass. But Ross first, please. Can you give me a good plug-in?
Oh, you want the plug first? I thought you wanted the Game Pass first. You've caught me off guard.
We'll get to Project Game Pass after the plugs.
I see. Allow me to get the plugs up, seeing as you've taken me off guard now. I had them on a different screen.
So leave it up.
We've got
something by heart by now.
I do, but I've got to change it a wee bit because we've got something a wee bit fancy.
Ooh.
So if you want to support us with your hard-earned cash, you can jump over to patreon.com/Xbox Tavern. Or if you are able to, jump in and scan our little QR code, and that will take you directly to our Patreon page.
Technology, eh?
There's video clips up there. There's written articles. There is After Dark voice, but we are now moving to After Dark video, so you'll still get to see all our gorgeous faces while we shoot shit. You can support us from Booyah! Tops off. Sorry. You can support us from, I think it's £2 a month. Be greatly appreciated. It helps the show run. Helps us pay for like the recording software, the website, the animations, the graphics, everything that you see on the show. That helps us.
Only Dan just putting his subscription fee up, so I've got to pay for it somehow. So please.
God damn him! God, I got in like the early bird special though, because I was like there from get go. It was like, booyah! So if you want to jump over there, support us with your hard-earned cash, it is more than appreciated.
That'd be nice.
Apple and Spotify podcasts, if you can jump over there, rate us 5-star, give us a wee comment underneath what you like about the show, what you don't like about the show. Also Google Podcasts as well, as I've now recently jumped over to the dark side and joined the Android family. I don't have Apple Podcasts anymore, so I had to download Google Podcasts. So jump over there and review us as well. Written reviews can be found at xboxtavern.com, which I'm sure G will have a luscious list of for later on. Socials run along the bottom of the screen. You've got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, any of those ones as well. YouTube, you'll all find us there at some variation of at Xbox Tavern or at Xbox Tavern Official. Discord, jump in, shoot the shit with us over there, talk about the Game Pass games, talk about our Guess the Game, which I don't want to mention because Jay's now started kicking my ass again, so we'll just
I had a brief blip, but we're back on top now.
We'll quite quickly just...
I looked at today's one, I was like, what the fuck is that game?
I've not had a look at it yet. I'll do it in the next 20 seconds to have a wee nosy to see if I can kick Jay's ass at it.
If you get it and I don't, I'll be livid because
That's going to be my goal for today. Just making sure I get that one. And last but by no means least, insert coin. Xbox Tavern 23 can be used for £5 off orders over £50. The boys over it, or the people over at Insert Coin, are fantastic. The stuff's always amazing. Jay's rocking. I can't even read that. I'm going so blind. Dolphin.
It's definitely a Pikmin shirt.
It's definitely not a Pikmin shirt. Looks too cool to be a Pikmin shirt.
Looks like
Yeah,
Wipeout.
100
Mine's Destiny.
I got one of these for my
kids.
kids as well.
Yeah, Destiny has to be in the game as well. But they've got loads of cool stuff over there. Beanies, as Jay can testify to his 8,000 ones that he has, no doubt.
Did you buy the
T-shirts.
Starfield one, Jamie?
Not yet, no.
What do you mean not yet? I expected
will.
it to be rocked up on the show this week.
I've got to buy Pikmin first, and then
Fuck
we can go with
Pikmin.
Starfield. I'll have it by the
That's
time
what
we
he
get
tends
it,
to
I'll have
do.
it.
He will fuck him.
Yeah, give him a half
I
a
mean,
chance.
yeah.
He'll
Rule
fuck the little
34, I
old
need to-
man that fucking chases after them.
Yes, you get your beanies, accessories, t-shirts, hoodies, pajamas, the works. All the stuff at Insert Coin is always top quality stuff, and we are all very much fans of their products.
Damn right, Insert Coin kick some ass. Right. Thank you very much, Ross, for giving us a good plug-in. Let's get into Project Game Pass then, which, if you're not familiar, if you just joined us for the first time, hi, welcome. This is Xbox Tavern. We do Project Game Pass every month where we pick a game from Game Pass, we play it, we discuss it, we give it a sort of unofficial Xbox Taverns, Xpod Tavern rating, and then we move on to the next month. And we've moved into July now, supposedly. I don't know how the fucking time has gone, but June's game was Cassette Beast, which is like a Pokemon style catch 'em all RPG style thing, which I'll jump in quickly first just because I was actually genuinely surprised how much I enjoyed playing what I played. I didn't play very much, admittedly, but what I played, I actually quite got into it, partly because it was quite easy to just sort of pick up and get the hang of. There wasn't too much in terms of like worrying about too many stats or worrying about this or that. You could just sort of pick up and just go with it. And partly because of the music, which was awesome. Really, really enjoyed. Ross called it. The title screen music was amazing, and even just the general music, like while you're out searching around, really, really good. Visuals really nice, and probably my favorite part was the fact that it lets you name your character, and my character was called Shit Cunt, which made the dialogue hilarious every single time. It never got old. Again, I only played it for maybe 3 hours. But yeah, I was surprised how much I did enjoy it, even though I haven't gone back to it recently because I'm playing 10 ton of other games. But you guys, who wants to go first? Ian, maybe? Did you get around to playing it?
I did get around to playing it. I probably played same amount as you did. Yeah, it was all right. I think I need to invest more time into it to kind of see if I actually really like it. That's why my score is a bit average at the moment, because I guess for the the best amount I've played of it so far, I'm like, do I want to go back and play more? And so far, that's a no. But I think I need to play a bit more in the story to find out if I actually will start getting invested and enjoying it more.
Did you get to the part where you sort of basically give them free reign to just explore? Because
Yeah.
that was where I got to. That's where I kind of drifted.
I felt about the same as you. Then probably got on the same place. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's still good fun. I think I need to give best because I do love my catch 'em all games kind of thing. So I do need to give it a bit more of a chance and see what it's all about. It's good I can put my laptop as well. So I mean, because it's not a very high stress game, so
No.
my laptop can handle it. So when that's what I've been doing on lunch breaks, just playing it for like half an hour every now and again. So I think I need to, rather than playing in and out and dipping in and out, I think I need to like sit down and do a good 2-3 hours of. Sorry, my son just fell in the bath. It sounds like.
So you need to go and see who just got murdered.
Ian, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Don't worry. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes. So you enjoyed it. You just need to get some proper time invested in it and figure it out. Ross, we'll go to you next. You were playing it last week, I think you said, but did you get much further at all? Or
Yeah, no, I've not completed it yet, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a very simplistic Pokemon. I realise Pokemon's not the most complex, but I know there's type matchups in this game, but it's not like they are. There's not like a list of 30 different types that you need to try and memorize. So no, I've been really enjoying it. It looks really nice. Plays super well. I like the idea that you can sort of drop in, so like the background is quite high definition, not high definition, but a lot more detail in it, and then your little character's still like pixelated. But no, it's been, I've really enjoyed it. Hopefully going to get it finished, get maybe not all the achievements like Ian might do, but definitely one that I'll polish off.
Nice.
Ian, do you ever get any other achievements?
I guess some.
I mean, considering he hasn't hit 100,000, doesn't sound like it, no.
I mean, how?
Because I don't
Some
like
people just play games that they enjoy, and not
Yeah,
because they want
I play games that I enjoy, and then like I complete the main story. And once I've completed the main story, unless it's a game that's got like great side quests, like The Witcher or Mass Effect or something along those lines, I don't delve any deeper. But when it starts adding things like even in The Witcher, even a game that I've got more hours than probably the three of you combined, and I won't complete the Gwent achievements. I fucking hate Gwent, so I'm never going to touch Gwent. So I'm never going to fucking 100% that game.
to play some Gwent.
Gwent.
Nice.
Gwent.
Nice.
Does anyone play Gwent?
No, I tried it. I didn't really get on with either.
I can't remember it, if I'm honest.
Exactly.
It was
That's
I'm not
luxury
a
to
card
have.
game guy, and that was something to. I was
I
like,
don't remember
should I
it
play
being
this,
that
or should I
bad.
go out
But
and fight some things? I'll go and fight some things instead.
It wasn't that it was shit. I'm just terrible at it.
What, The
Yeah, there's a lot of different layers, wasn't it? Of like the different souls,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't
Subtle,
discuss on Gwent too much. I think they just shut down the standalone game, so we'll let that one lie. Graham, I know you obviously said you'd finish it last week or last time we recorded.
I did.
Have you touched any of the site or the end game stuff you mentioned before? Or
Well, technically, it wasn't endgame stuff. It just is endgame stuff because I didn't do it whilst before completing it. Like
I see, okay.
the idea is that you beat all the 14 or 12 odd captains, and then you become an official ranger. And then it doesn't tell you this, but there's like a little whiteboard right outside the ranger house where you can pick up sort of missions, and they could be like you have to fight a fused baddie or meet someone, or just there's a different parts of it. I didn't realize that bit, and so I've been doing a bit of those post games, because you can still do those kind of bits afterwards. And yeah, it's been all right. I've been doing some of those, but I mean, I haven't played it in the last week because I've been playing other things. But because once you completed it, kind of sort of wasn't much else to do unless you're going to capture every single sort of creature and everything, and that's not really my bag.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But I did enjoy it. It was, as a sort of a lightweight Pokemon game, I still definitely enjoyed it, and good fun.
Nice. Good. All right. Well, let's give it the quick round table then. Obviously, you can go to xboxtavern.com and we'll have the list of all the games we've played up until now for Project Game Pass, as well as our ratings and reviews if we've done them, and trailers and stuff. So let's start with Graham then. We're sticking with the out of 10 for now. Again, unofficial Xbox Tavern Tavern rating. What would you give it, sir?
I was giving it an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice. Ian?
I've got to stay middle ground and say like 5.5. Not as bad, I would say. For now, 5.5. Check back in a couple of weeks' time, might change.
Fair enough. Ross?
I'm going to give it a 7.
And I think I should join you. Again, not my cup of tea or whatsoever, really, but I was surprised how much I was enjoying it. But I won't go back to it. There's no chance.
Not even for the music?
I mean, excuse me, I might stick the title screen on, like you said, and just listen to that here and there, because that was some... And even when you're in... like the cafe, the music, I don't know what it's called, but when the girl's singing that song, and then you step outside and it sort of changes a bit like like an instrumental version of it. So that's a really nice touch. And I went back in the cafe, listened to a bit, went back outside, and I was like, I should probably actually go fight some monsters now, I suppose. and then that was it.
That's why Ross giving it 7. He's just played the title screen.
Exactly. I'm just sitting on the title screen vibing.
Just enjoying the tunes. But obviously, like I said, we've moved into July now, so cassette beast, old news, fuck that, whatever, we're done with that. Let's move on to the next game. We're not going to actually get round to our new game because it's not out for a couple of weeks. It is going to be Exoprimal, which is the new game from Capcom, where it's like 5v5 PvP action with dinosaurs and robot mechs and all sorts of crazy shit. Looking forward to checking that one out. It's coming out into Game Pass, I think, on the 14th of July. And obviously, myself and Ian are away this weekend at a wedding, so we're not going to be anywhere near ready to start playing anything else. So we're going to check that one out, and we shall report back near or on the launch when we'll have some some thoughts and opinions on that week's podcast / on the website on xboxtavern.com. So yeah, are we all excited to play a bit of Exoprimal? Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to check it out.
Dinosaurs and mech suits. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good combination.
But not dinosaurs in armor. But it works.
How do you know there's not dinosaurs in armor?
That is very true. We don't know.
Yeah,
yet.
I mean, we'll find out very soon. But
I'm going in blind. I haven't looked at any trailers
Yeah,
or
I've not.
anything. So I've decided I'm not even going to look at anything. I'm just going to wait. When you tell me play it, I'll join in and play.
yeah, we'll join in. The four of us and possibly special guest Pete or Dan or one of the other Xbox Tavern crew will jump in with us, I'm sure, and we'll all have a good time. All right, gentlemen.
You think
That's
Ross
all
will
the good
show up?
stuff.
Fucking rude, man.
I was going to say, I think you got some fucking nerve to say that there.
I was going to say the hypocrisy is unreal.
Yes, we'll play that, and then obviously we're into August and then September. I don't know what we should pick for September. I'm not really sure. Can't really decide.
Yeah, there's not many big games coming out in September.
May just skip that month.
Not very many.
No.
Yeah, maybe just give it up.
Focus
I
on
mean, the hard part of that's going to be you're going to have to actually try and drag me away from the console to come and record the podcast.
Yeah, we'll just be playing. All four of us should be sitting there just staring
So
at the
that's-
screen. What? What did you say? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was
Yeah.
too busy colonizing the planet or some shit. Yeah, they're very, very interested. The more I think about it, the more excited to play some Starfield. But that's not for a couple of months yet, and not indeed the next month, indeed. So let's move on.
I'm just looking more for a game towards Manslayer. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
You know what? I thought you were about to say I'm looking forward to getting the gamer score in. I was like, Ian, don't Givo farm Starfield. You can't do it.
Yeah, visit all 1,000 planets. That'll keep him busy.
Yeah. See you in a few years, lads. I'm off.
But the score. Yeah, all right. Well, let's move on very quickly then. We won't spend too much longer on the news that we've got coming up because A, I don't really want to talk about it, and B, there's still ongoing and there's a hell of a lot to get into. But I don't know if you've heard, I don't know if you've seen, there's some sort of court case going on in the US at the minute between the FTC and Microsoft, or Xbox, I should say, about this whole Activision Blizzard nonsense. There so far it's been 5 days of court hearings and testimony and all that sort of nonsense. Gamesindustry.biz has got a breakdown of it all, and I wouldn't read it anyway, but it's fucking massive the amount of stuff they got here. But the highlights, or some of the highlights, I should say,
But the FTC getting their ass kicked.
Is basically the FTC don't really seem to know what they were doing in there in the first place.
No
So
clue.
they've sort of turned up and they've gone, we don't think Xbox should buy Activision Blizzard because it's not fair for consumers. And the judge has gone, the consumers don't mind. Yeah, but the consumers won't be able to fairly compete. Do you mean Sony? No, definitely not Sony. It's definitely about the consumers. Yeah, but the consumers will be benefit. No, but they won't be fair to Sony. No, not to Sony. No. Sony won't be able to. No shit. No, I've done it. Fucking. I've put my foot in it now. I mean, we're here for Sony. I'm sorry. There's so much to go through. There's too much to even begin to start here.
Some of the stupidity that's come out with it. Basically, Nintendo Switch doesn't class as a console, even though it's the best-selling console out just now.
Yeah, the FTC compared Call of Duty to the Elder Scrolls when asked to make something that was simple,
not the franchise.
a decent comparison.
Just Elder Scrolls Online was comparable to Call of Duty.
Supposedly, yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that came out with.
I did skim through this earlier on, but there's so
the
much.
full thing that they were arguing that by Xbox getting rights to Call of Duty, they could hide things that are only available to Xbox, like consumables and skins. The same deal that Sony's had for the last 7 or 8 years
with Call of Duty.
With Call of Duty,
yeah. And they're saying oh, you can't move Call of Duty. We're not going to move Call of Duty.
We're not going to move Call of Duty. We've said it's going to be on the. You've only said 10 years, lads. Why are we dealing with any more than 10 years at the moment? Can we get the fucking deal over the line first?
Yeah. And can we make sure Call of Duty's not coming out in 10 years' time? Because
I was about to say, geez, that's the most scariest shit of that. 10 years of that.
And it's like just some of the arguments, and you're just sitting there like, lads, what do you even know what you're arguing here? Or have you literally just been handed a bit of paper and just reading it going, oh, actually, that doesn't make sense?
At one
point,
point, they
cloud gaming
argued
as well because Microsoft's cloud gaming is better. But like, That's nothing to do with the FTC.
Yeah, it's fuck all to do with us. But there has been
lost the
some.
one I had now, but they're just the arguments that they've got coming out. They're trying to frame it as like for the consumer, blah blah blah. And the judge pretty much every time has turned around and gone, yeah, but the consumer's fine. That would be Sony's problem, and they're like, no, it's definitely no, it's not them.
And they were
No,
saying,
Sony don't
it would
bother.
drive up exclusivity. I mean,
Yeah.
Sony pretty much started this.
They own exclusivity. I mean, they've even came out. It's like PlayStation will be worse off if this deal doesn't go through.
Yeah.
So like GeForce Now won't have Call of Duty if this doesn't go through.
Yeah,
Switch won't have Call of Duty if this deal doesn't go through. The only people who are getting any sort of worry about this is Sony. And even at that, we've still said it's not coming off PlayStation. It will still be on PlayStation. We have no interest in taking it off PlayStation.
And they've tried to sort of bring in like Bethesda's deal with it as well, where they've talked about, well, you've taken Bethesda games away from us, and then in emails sent, behind the scenes,
StarCraft,
now coming out as
Starfield.
evidence. Yeah, they've this bullet point they said Jim Ryan acknowledged that Microsoft honoured existing PlayStation exclusivity deals for Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop. He said he fundamentally has no quarrel with Redfall being made Xbox exclusive. I mean,
fair play.
No one cares. No one cares about this.
on Starfield, he said, "I don't like it, but I don't view it as anti-competitive." And yet, all of his public statements have been, "No, it's anti-competitive. You can't do this. It's not fair." Blah blah blah. And then behind the scenes, he's like, "I'm not really bothered." Another one was saying like he still thinks Call of Duty will be on PlayStation for years to come, and even if it's not, they don't really care. They'll be fine.
And also that Starfield was planned to be a PlayStation exclusive.
Supposedly, yeah, they were
Before
working on
they
a deal
bought
like
Bethesda.
Ghostwire and Deathloop, yeah, and they were trying to get Starfield as yet another timed exclusive on the PlayStation, which is why Xbox went, actually, no, do you know what?
We're just going to buy you.
You're of us now, yeah. There's so much, honestly, there's so much to get through, and obviously none of us are legal experts at all. Like I said, gamesindustry.biz got a great article sort of summarising it all. They've got Destin Legary from IGN Unlock podcast. He's got his own YouTube channel, and he did like a breakdown of each day as well. They're like 40-minute long videos, and it packs a lot of information in, but they're well worth a watch, I think, if you're even remotely interested in this, which I've been listening to them while I've sort of been at work and stuff. What's some other? We've got some other highlights here. We've got like again, Xbox saying, "Oh, why was us? We're in last place," and then emails and stuff come out where they were trying to buy. Well, they had a list of 100 companies they were trying to buy at one point, including like Sega, Square Enix, IO Interactive, Zynga, Bungie. Was it Housemarque, the one that Sony bought recently as well?
Zynga.
There's
Yeah,
Zynga sold to Take-Two. Zynga sold to Take-Two last year for $12.7 billion, Graham. Did you know that?
I just remember
yeah.
Zynga made Farmville. I was like, wow, that's still going.
Yeah, so the Facebook
How the fuck with that much money?
marketplace video game people sold to the people who make Grand Theft Auto for $12.7 billion last year. And Xbox were interested in buying them to get into the mobile market. Again, like the sort of final decision from the judge was as to whether this can even proceed, I think, is on Tuesday, because it's obviously 4th of July in America this coming
Tuesday.
sorry, I think it'd be Wednesday, sorry, because you've got the 4th of July on Tuesday. And then if she says yes, which, I mean, so far she's sort of indicated that she probably will, they've got until I think the end of August or something to then properly put their case out to say we can or can't do, or why we can or can't do this, and then from there we'll know whether it will, or thumbs up or thumbs down, like overall. Without getting into the armchair lawyers on the internet going, "Oh, this is a bad idea," or "This is a good idea," it just it's a lot of shit, really, isn't it? Just can we just get over and done with? We're going to end up talking about this for months and months still. Has anyone got any thoughts on? Did anyone read the article? Did anyone got any thoughts on their opinions, or are we sick and tired of fucking this bore?
Yeah, I skimmed the article, but God, I'm getting bored of it. Like, it just seems to be like everything's like trying to slow it down more than it happening, and it's going to happen. people need to suck it up. Like even the thing about the whole thing in the UK, they're either going to buy their way so they can be in the UK, or they just won't have a UK office, and then but Europe will be fine, and America will be fine. It's just slow. They're trying to slow it down. It's just like, I know they're doing it on purpose because it's going to happen. They're the best lawyers in the world.
Yeah, it's just a lot of tit for tat, like we said before. Like, well, you said this. Well, you said this.
It's like I remember when obviously completely different. I remember when fucking was it O2 and Virgin were going to merge, and I was moaning about, and those mobile companies moaning about that. It fucking happened eventually.
Yeah.
You just got fucking low. It will happen.
Yeah, like I said, the FTC have complete shit to bed. They brought a witness in. I forget his name now. I don't want to necessarily name though. Oh, this man is wrong, but his whole testimony was why it'd be bad, and then the opposing side and the judge come out. I was like, it doesn't make any sense. What you based it on is completely irrelevant. What you've said, and like, you just wasted everyone's time for like 2 or 3 hours, and now. You look like a cunt. We've been treated like cunts. We've sat there listening to absolute drivel for the last few hours, and you've just wasted everyone's time. We got other bits and pieces like what's his name? So Pete Hines actually being a bit upset with like Xbox, saying that they're going to put future Bethesda games exclusive to Xbox because then it limits the marketplace. We've got Satya Nadella, I think his name is, the head of Microsoft, who said he doesn't want exclusives at all, but he's got no choice because that's what Sony does. They force the hand by buying things like Final Fantasy, for example. Recently, they've sort of paid for exclusivity for that. And so in order to compete back, Xbox has to do the same, but he said he'd rather just have games everywhere, which is what we want to see.
Exactly.
And if anyone can do it, the head of Microsoft, I should say, should be able to be in a position to say, let's just get everything everywhere. I mean, it's not going to happen, but that would be the dream.
And I know, obviously, everyone has abundance of money, but both consoles are very easily accessible if you do want to play an exclusive game.
Yeah.
They haven't made it difficult to get access to. Now, before back in the day it was, but now getting a PS5 is quite easy.
Yeah, and obviously the whole thing of cloud gaming and Game Pass, cloud gaming and PS Plus and GeForce Now and stuff, it's just going to sort of erode those boundaries, I think, because if you can play it on the cloud on your phone or whatever, what's the point in not just putting it on the other console anyway?
Exactly.
So,
it's all a bit of pettiness, isn't it?
I don't know if anyone else got
down. That's all it is. It's trying to slow the fucking merger down. Eventually it's going to happen, but they slow it down. The more they talk about it, the more we'll put out
everybody's time.
They ain't going to pull out. It's going to happen. It's going to pay the right people eventually, and it's just going to be more money, and that's it. But Microsoft is a fucking $1 trillion company. They've got the money for it. Xbox division is fucking tiny compared to what they want to do with the rest of the fucking company.
Exactly. So, I mean, we'll see, hopefully, with the next couple of weeks, whether we're going to drag it out for a little bit longer or whether they're going to say, no, you can't do this, naughty boys. We got a couple of other little nuggets, which, again, I was sort of skimming through this article, trying to find them. We got the Elder Scrolls 6 or 16, as the Microsoft lawyer called it, which, I mean, is a bit hopeful. Is projected to be at least 5 years away, according to him, and Phil Spencer mentioned that as well, because that was one thing they were saying, like, can you promise that you'll put Elder Scrolls on Xbox and PlayStation? And he was like, we don't even know where it's going to, like, what consoles will be out when it's released. Who knows where we're going to fucking release it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It'll be on the new Xbox, probably, I imagine.
I mean, at this point, if it's another 5 years from now, that's when they've also proposed that the next series of consoles will be sort of looking to be released in 2028. Which will
it'll be a launch title for the new Xbox.
Which will make it 17 years between Skyrim and Elder Scrolls 6, which...
Technically, it's probably like 2, because it's probably brought a Skyrim for the 50th time.
Yeah, there's going to be 2 more versions of Skyrim before this one comes out.
Yeah, I mean, they do like to re-release that game. That's probably what's delayed it as well. But yeah, that's a hell of a long time in between, entries in the series. I mean, GTA is coming up on 10 years now, but 17 years between the series, between the entries.
Let's get to bashing butts.
Absolutely, let's get to bashing butts as well as these nuts. That was about it, really. Again, there's so much more to get into, but we're going way too long. I don't want to spend too long on it because it's quite boring, and we just want to get over and done with. So go check out the article. I linked it in the YouTube chat if you're watching or if you're catching up with us on replay. Hi. And yeah, go check it out, and then hopefully next week or next time we reconvene, we can discuss something else, anything else,
Just not this.
including Ross. I know,
one done.
Ross, I know you put this one in here. There's no chance I put this one in here. Something about Football Manager development praises Xbox Game Pass and announces major plans for FM 24 and 25. Do you want to run through it quickly?
Yeah, I'll go through it very quick. It's just it's quite big changes in regards to the way that Football Manager looks like it's going to be from now on. So the latest one that's coming out, Football Manager 24, has already been confirmed. It's going straight to the Game Pass day and date.
The last two have, haven't they?
Yeah, the last two have.
More than that. Last 4 or 5 have.
But I don't think they've been day and date. I think they've went in eventually, whereas the last two have went in on release day.
Okay.
Same way, so Football Manager 24 is going to be the same. They're also working on a system that's going to allow you to transfer your saves from 23 to 24. So you make it basically what we want from FIFA. You can carry your ultimate team going forward, and it's not like you have to do everything over every single solitary year. So they're now bringing it so that you can just keep the game running throughout the next ones. But it's 2025, the next, so in 2 years' time, that's really going to see Football Manager change completely. They're bringing in a full new engine, the Unity engine, which is the same engines that you use for City Skylines. So everything that's based that you can see graphically in the world in Football Manager will now be based in that engine. So the match day experience will be a significant improvement, which has always been one of the biggest bugbears in Football Manager. The game looks like FIFA 94.
How come they're teaming up with that? Because that's two completely different developers, isn't it? Or
well, it's the engine, so I don't know who develops the engine, if it's things like that, but they are going to be using that, so it's going to be a complete overhaul. Basically, they're saying Football Manager 24 will be the last of its kind in regards to what it is at its current moment, and you can almost imagine Football Manager 25 is almost like a brand new entity in the way that they're going to be running the game. They're also making a big step in introducing women's football into the game, which has been
women playing football.
Exactly. No. So they've been.
Don't clip that.
It's been too
saying that.
It's that was it. 1 minute 26. That's fine. We're sorted. This will be almost as big as coming from Championship Manager to Football Manager. That's the sort of scale that they're looking to move it to in regards to what they want the experience to be. Just touching back to what the headline's saying about the boss praising it, Mel Jacobson, who's the sort of head man, has basically sort of taken a shot back at Jim Ryan's comments about none of the developers like Game Pass. It's not liked within the community. It's basically every studio has to make decisions themselves, but I don't recognise some of the quotes that I see from other studios in their positions. I don't recognise that as our business. It's all very sunny for us. And the move to bring it to Game Pass and things like Apple Arcade made sense fiscally and creatively, and they wouldn't have been able to reach the 5 million players that are playing FM23 had they not brought it to things like Game Pass. So that's just another great value, the best value in gaming, and big changes in the future of Football Manager going forward.
Nice. So we get more
Very
Game Pass Football Manager. We get more Game Pass goodness, and everybody's a winner except for Jim Ryan, who just he can't get over it. He just can't believe it. He's so upset. And I think that'll probably do with the news, really. I guess. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag supposed to be getting a remake. And some
I put that in especially for Ian.
I knew Ian would like that one.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you. So obviously we had a rest of the O2 recently, and also at the O2 now is something called the Virgin Media Gamepad, which is like a specially designed space for people to go free of charge and just play games for 20 minutes, half an hour. I was looking on the website. I couldn't actually see anywhere where you could actually try and book it, but they have a whole lot of high-tech stuff. They've teamed up with Digital Foundry to kit it out with like all the latest PC hardware and consoles and TVs and stuff. And you can just rock up, play for a little while, have a game, chill out for a bit, and then move on to whatever you were at the O2 to do. It looks pretty cool. It looks like a good idea. And again, free of charge. They also got like sensory stuff. So, if you need sort of special environments, or if you're a bit sensitive to loud noises or bright lights and stuff, everything can be adjusted to you. And they also have like the adaptive controllers and stuff available for people to go in. And yeah, this looks like a really cool little space to go and play some video games for a little while you're waiting to go watch Roman Reigns get his ass kicked. Ha ha, yeah.
Oh god, that was
Well,
such a good main event.
We can talk more about that later on, but
Talk about it now
yeah,
if you want.
we got the after dark to do yet. We got plenty of time.
That fucking kick out got me fucking well and truly.
But yeah, so that's about it for the news. Again, there's so much more in the Activision Blizzard stuff, but we haven't got the time nor the patience to go through it right now. We'll talk about it in a couple of weeks when we're all back. Graham and Ross can catch up next week if they want and just spend an hour and a half talking about it. But yeah, so let's round off into the sort of finale parts of the show. Thank you very much so far if you've been listening. It's been wonderful. We've had a wonderful time talking about video games and news and what have you. And Ross, we like games, especially on Game Pass, which you were just talking about. Game Pass, crying Jim, as one of my favorite podcasts called him. He loves Game Pass, and he will be ecstatic to see this list of games coming into it right now.
He's muted as well.
Oh, I thought, I didn't have the feed up on my screen. I was like, shit, have I gone? Oh, no.
Do you have panic attacks? So, for the month of July, on the 3rd, we have Arcade Paradise coming to console and PC. July 5th, we've got Sword and Fairy 7 on console and PC. July 14th, we've got our Project Game Pass game Exo Primal, again, console and PC. July 18th, Tectonica, Jesus Christ, easy for me to say, on console and PC. July 20th, we've got The Wandering Village, and on July 31st, we've got Vember.
Nice. So yeah, go check them games out. Coming very soon on Game Pass. Ian, it's not all good news though. Things have left or are leaving. Have you got an updated list of stuff coming and going?
Yep. So fortunately, with only 3 games leaving this month, or this half of the month, should we say, and that is Spent Lucky 2, Exo 1, and one of the best games ever, Paw Patrol the movie, Adventure City Calls.
Absolutely gutted. Absolutely
Love some
gutted.
Paw
Not around to
Patrol.
that one yet. So
Paw Patrol.
Yeah, nice.
Paw Patrol.
I'll jump in with the reviews very quickly, and then we'll get to Graham with the Games of Gold, because I did forget once again. We've got my AEW Fight Forever review up on xboxtavern.com, and I give it 7.8. Spoke about it at length earlier on, so you can listen back to that or go and read it. That'd be wonderful. Corey reviewed Crash Team Rumble. I don't know if you guys have seen this one. It's like a MOBA style thing with Crash Bandicoot characters. He gave it 7. Looks fun enough, but I think it's a pretty basic thing. And then we got my review for Escape Academy, Escape from the Past DLC, which is also up. And we also had a special guest Pete review. He just jumped in there with a surprise fucking review for Miasma Chronicles, like a real-time like XCOM style game. He gave it 7.9. He seemed to be quite taken with it. So yeah, you can go check them out on the website right now. Graham, Games of Gold. What can we pick up for freebies?
For now, you can pick up Veil, Shadow of the Crown until July the 15th. And we now have Darkwood that's just slipped in, and that's available until July the 31st.
Very nice. I think Dan was quite a fan of Darkwood, if I remember rightly. So yeah, well worth going and check that one out. Ooh, a game Daniel played. What? Anyway, that's enough for us now. We're going to go and record Xbox Tavern's After Dark, which you can find on our Patreon page. Ross, do you want to put the doodad back up? Can you do it?
I can put doodads back up for you if you want.
If you want to join our Patreon, you can listen to Xbox Tavern's After Dark, where we discuss whatever the fuck we want to discuss, really. Video games, wrestling,
Doodads.
Sports.
Drunken
One day
moments.
we'll talk about sports. Drunken moments, stag parties, chlamydia, who knows what kind of stuff come up. So let's move over there, shall we? Thank you very much for listening. If you made it this far, you're a fucking hero. And we shall see you. Well, we won't. Ross and Graham, hopefully we'll see you again next week at 8 p.m.
Ish.
over on youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official, or indeed podcast channels, wherever you want to find us. I've been Jamie. You can find me at DNXAN while Twitter still exists. You can find Ross
At Scottish Gruff, if you've not used your 600 views.
Ian.
I'm at Nutty Ray.
And Graham.
At Graham Reaper.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful day. And remember, #be nice.
Be nice, you cunt.
I love you, Ryan.